Hey guys, my name is Nate and this is my brother Steven. Together we are Wingman Merch.
Thanks for checking out our video. We put these up about a month after we shoot them. If you'd like to catch any of these videos live, check out our Facebook page. The link is in the description.
My tip for Q4 this week, I don't know if I'll have one of these every week, but I was talking to someone today and came up with a strategy that I think a lot of people will get use out of if you're not already doing this. And that's basically, if you guys are seeing a shirt or a shirt in a certain niche or multiple shirts in that niche starting to sell multiple times a week, or more than your other shirts, I definitely suggest adding that to other products. So sweatshirts is good, long sleeve t-shirts, pop sockets you can try, and even experimenting with the other marketplaces. If you are in those marketplaces and haven't uploaded too much to them, start with what's working, but definitely pay attention every week to the sales that you're making. And we always say the term like double down, but this is the time of year to really make sure you're on top of that, because if people are buying your design and with the keywords that you're using, offering them more products is going to do nothing but help drive more sales to your account. So that was something, just talking to somebody today or this week about the sales that they're having and what they can be doing, and that was something that I thought would apply to a lot of people this time of year. Just to make sure that we are capitalizing on all the opportunities that we have with merch. So that's a freebie for you guys today. Before we get into anything too deep, as the last couple of shows, we've actually stuck to a half hour, so we're going to try and do that again, maybe even less here today. We really value your guys' time in Q4 and know how hectic and crazy it can be. And we already had people asking us to cut down like the 2-hour shows, so now we're trying to be really on top of it and get these down to like 15 minutes so you guys can consume the information that we're giving you without too much of the fluff that might have been there before. So an update for this week is that the Wingman coaching is now turning into Wingman consulting. Just a little bit different way of looking at that. I really like helping people on a one-on-one basis, but coaching for some reason just seems still like overwhelming to me. So cutting that down, we're not exactly sure what that looks like, but if you are interested in talking with me like once or twice, or just a shorter amount of time, I guess is what that consulting means, feel free to reach out to me. I feel like I have a lot of really good advice that I can give people, and we've seen that the advice that I'm giving to people are like turning into sales almost instantly. People saying like, oh, this listing that has never sold has been up for 2 months, and then I took your advice, I actually changed the things that you told me to do, and now it's selling multiple times this week. So we really feel like our knowledge on merch is pretty strong at this point.
Yeah, just why we're calling consulting and not coaching. Coaching we've been asking a few other people that do coaching, and to us, coaching seems like almost like I don't want to seem rude or derogatory, but like a cheerleading, like we're cheering you on, and that's not necessarily what we're doing.
That's not bad, but that's not what we're doing.
What we are doing, we feel, is giving you actionable steps, and it is more of a consulting role. So when we were asking people, they were telling us, it's more like you're consulting on their business. You're actually seeing what their business has going on right now, giving them actionable steps to take action on and move their business slightly in a different direction. And we're like, okay, that's probably a much better way to present what we are attempting to do. So it's not really coaching. We're not in it for the long haul of being in your account and growing with your business. We want to give you actionable steps right now. We still want to grow your business and help you grow a business, but the way that we want to do it is more in smaller groups, I guess.
Yeah, that's a much better way of putting it.
Yeah, and the one-on-one that we want to do with people is like actually consulting. Like, let us see what you have going on. Here's advice directed directly at you that you can take action on, and that should bring in sales, or at least whatever you're trying to do. What are your goals? Let's find out what your goals are, and here's the next, what we consider actionable steps for you to do, because we are a lot more action-oriented than actually just like cheering you on. We feel like Christy is way better at that than us. We're not great at like just keep going. We're really good at, okay, this is what you're doing. Here's some things to tweak and try and shift, and then do this. And then that's kind of why we say consulting more than coaching.
Right. Just a mindset change for me based on the feedback that we were getting. So thank you for clarifying that. That was a much better way of putting it. But yeah, that's what I enjoy doing. It's no secret I love giving actionable steps. So being able to just say, okay, a 30-minute video, here's what I see, some problems I see across multiple listings. This is how I think that you can fix that. And then seeing success coming from it is super rewarding for me. So I want to start doing that more. But figuring out exactly what that looks like is still what we're attempting to do. So the more people that start asking me for consulting, the more I think that will get figured out. So if you are interested in consulting, I'll probably even make a post about it this week. But I'd be really happy to help out as many people as possible. I guess just
break down what it is that you're offering currently, so that people know when they reach out that, okay, I'm asking for this.
Yeah, so it's constantly morphing, but I think the best plan of action now is to, if you're interested in consulting, sending you a Q&A, some type of form that you can fill out, so I know where you're at and what you're trying to do, so I'm not just throwing a bunch of random advice.
Ideas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm an artist, so I want to give people a bunch of this is exactly how you do this inside of Photoshop. They're like, great, I have VAs. That's of no help to me. So knowing just a little bit about you and how you're running your account and what your goals are, and then having you send me 5 listings so I can kind of see what you are currently doing on merch, and then giving you I was saying 10 to 15 minute, but they've turned into 30, 45 minute video of all the advice that I can give you on how you can improve your listings. And those are strategies that you can apply to everything you're doing moving forward. It's not just okay, this is exact advice on this one shirt. It's more advice that, is going to just change the way you're thinking or doing things across all of your shirts on merch or whatever apparel you're uploading. So that's currently what we are doing. If you have suggestions for something that you would like to see, feel more than free to ask me. But that's currently what we're doing, and we're seeing it's working pretty well. I like doing it that way because it's not another meeting that we have during the week. It's I can take time and actually comb over what you're doing and give you a little bit more thoughtful advice. So that's what we're doing with that. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was this post that I made last week. It's actually going to pop up on screen if everything goes correctly.
Bam.
Yay! So this is something that I posted last week.
A little Vanna White going on.
Which image do you think looks better? If you're in the Preflight class, this image probably looks very familiar. I taught on this a little bit. And so if I can remove that, put it back here, boom. This was not really a trick question, but just to get people in the mindset of what is working on Amazon. I've tried to work with a few artists and designers from other industries, and they seem to get frustrated because I think in general most people would say that number 2 is actually a better design, or it is even a design, where most people would look at this Meow My Cat and be
this is the first time we've had
what
interactive stuff on here. I like that.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be
I get distracted. Yeah, I'll be having all kinds of stuff coming up here now.
So a lot of you guys in the comments, I think, nailed it. A lot of you said that, the Meow My Cat jumps out at you. There's no doubt of what it is, and kind of follows my mantra of being bold, clean, and simple, where this trick, which is get candy, is, I call it green spaghetti, because that's what it looks like when you're looking at the little 2x2 image on your phone.
You don't have the listings pulled up?
Which ones?
Those 2 listings.
No, I don't.
That would have been probably more impactful.
Yeah. So I just pulled this image, and I probably, I don't know, maybe could have made different designs. I just randomly pulled these off of Amazon while looking at shirts, and I was like, man, this is a really clear image of this. Oh, I see why you're saying I should have pulled them. This Meow My Cat.
It looks, and the question you asked was, I thought, very clever, because you're asking which one looks better.
Right.
And I think more people would say number 2, because it visually has a little bit more going on. It looks better. But when you see it on a shirt, it does look like green spaghetti. You can't make out any of it, especially on the thumbnail. If you're on the computer or on your phone, it really gets mashed up. But this,
I'm not going to do all that.
Meow My Cat really stands out. It fits Nathaniel's bold, clean, simple to a T. And especially when you see it as a listing, it immediately pops out, and you know exactly what you're getting, or at least what the shirt is before you click on it.
Yeah.
The other one, you probably just thumb or scroll right through it and just go, I don't know what that is. But Meow My Cat, that's really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a cat-like shirt. So that
Yeah.
one fits the bill.
There's a lot of lessons you can learn from looking at these two postings, so I'll probably make like a follow-up post, even though we're talking about it here live, to show you guys the two listings, and I apologize if either of those are yours. But
Not if it's this one.
yeah, if it's that one, you're probably happy. If it's this one, then probably not so much. But the person who had this listing was actually even running ads on it, and that just goes back to further what Stephen was saying about the ads, that it's not going to fix a bad listing. So if your listing is hard to see or the keywords are bad and people can't understand what it is, even running ads and getting that in people's faces directly, like they're still going to scroll past it for something that's much more simplistic, of the Meow My Cat, which is selling pretty well.
Yeah, this
So-
one's definitely selling good, and this one is not selling at all. And,
Yeah,
like
and
Dale
the
said,
reason-
even with running ads, it's still not selling.
Yeah, the reason behind that is because you have to think about the platform that you're selling on. I think if you were to hang these up in a store, if these were both in Walmart or something, I think the Trick Witches Get Candy would probably outsell the Meow I'm a Cat, because people are able to go up to it and see exactly what it says. But
Spend
on
a
Amazon,
lot more time hands-on.
exactly, they're just scrolling by. If it doesn't grab their attention while they're scrolling on, their phone or even on their computer or whatever, it's not going to, impact them in any way to click on it and look further into it. So just thinking like the customer while you're designing was kind of the idea of this post, and show a lot of people to like kind of stop overthinking the artwork part of it. If you can be bold, clean, and simple, we've seen that be successful over the last 2 years, and that's kind of what drives our art team and our theory behind selling on Amazon as far as the art goes. So all good things to keep in mind, especially Q4. You might, I don't know, be trying to design a bunch of shirts and think that you're doing like amazing design work because it's really detailed and you're getting in there on Photoshop or whatever you're making it on. But just taking a second, thinking about how is this going to be perceived on Amazon? What's people's first impression going to be on it? I think are all really good questions to be asking yourself while you're designing.
And I'm trying to push Nathaniel to actually maybe do a class to teach like what is T-shirt art, and then that bold, clean, simple. He did an amazing job, I think, inside the Preflight 2.0. And I want him to bottle all the information up and teach just an art class, because I think a lot of people get tied up with art and art as in like gallery art, and like really overthinking the whole process and going, oh, this doesn't look good, this isn't like an artist piece. But really, T-shirt art is much, I don't know about simpler, it's just that what he says, bold,
Yeah.
clean, simple as a good looking design on a shirt. So something like this is a little bit more complex, but at least it stands out and you know exactly what it is. It's a London shirt, it's got London colors, it's got a lot of London imagery. That kind of stuff. I think Nathaniel's life experience with being a graphic designer, and then the last 5 years of being an actual
T-shirt
t-shirt
designer,
yeah, that's like information that I think he takes a lot for granted, and I think he should be sharing that more in a class form where people can ask questions. He'll get his points across, and then people can ask questions, because we had a ton of questions inside the Preflight 2.0. We normally try to keep those to an hour, and the last one that we did was all art, and people were like, keep going, and was actually stretched out to like almost 2 hours. So I see that as being a huge hole in people's understandings, and when they think art, they think a lot more in-depth and detailed, just like this one, instead of just, oh, this one and why this one. And it is just because of the platform and how people view it and everything that Nathaniel just said, but especially going into more detail and looking at the whole page and then him breaking down page by page, I think is super impactful.
Yeah, and it's not just like T-shirt art, like I was saying, but just like T-shirt art on Amazon. It's like another level you have to add to, thinking about the customers who are buying these images. So, yeah, there are some tools and things that make teaching on that a little bit more exciting now. So
I'm surprised you're not busting at the seams to speak about your tool.
Yeah,
That's another thing you should have in that class. It's just like art. Where are you at? What's your art level? And then explain that, and then show the tools that you like to use and why you like to use them. I think all of that wrapped up into
Right.
like a class.
No, the way that I do art is definitely not like, you have to know Photoshop inside and out like I do to like take that class. It should be just like, this is for anyone who's at all interested in doing artwork. If you already have VAs and you already have that process hired out, might not be something you want to go back and learn unless you're trying to like suggest how your VAs can be doing art better, or even have your VAs in the class. But
That's very interesting.
yeah, that would be an interesting idea. Like this class could just be for anybody who's doing art. So talk about more like the theory and stuff, not just the tools. And
Yeah, so I said when you go and look at the actual landing zone, how you broke it down, I thought was very interesting, and a lot of people could learn just from that to go, okay, here's all the different styles. Here's kind of how I would do this, and then here are the ones that really stick out, like this one, the bold, clean, simple, those types of designs.
Yeah, that would be interesting to do. Sorry, I was just reading chat. Zilla said that to always look at your designs at as tiny as possible to test the ability. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things you can do with that as well. Like even looking at the image reversed, so you're not like reading Meow I'm a Cat, but you're seeing like how the actual layout, adjust to your eye and things like that. There's a lot of cool tips and tricks that if you guys are interested in artwork, I could probably help out and teach a class on that. Yeah, I would just have to like source what questions you guys would want answered before we went into it, because I could easily talk for like 2 days of just like, what my idea of art on Amazon is. But yeah, so I guess if you're interested in that, also let me know, comment below, and we might make a post on that when I get a little bit more free time to like put together how that would all look and work out. But
yeah, next year for sure, I think you're going to do a lot more of that type of teaching.
I did really enjoy the last 2 weeks in the pre-flight class.
Because it was all art.
Yeah, because it was all art the last 2 weeks. It was like the first time I've had the platform to just like talk on art. So that was
the first
really
time I
fun.
didn't help with the presentation. I was just like, it's all on you. I got other things to
So we
learn.
got really good feedback. I was like
Yeah.
super excited. I thought I'd be like going over people's heads a little bit too much or like a little too in depth, but even people were like, "Oh, I'm actually like interested in doing art now." I'm like, "Oh." I did not expect that, but that's awesome. I thought more people would be like Steven, like, let's just worry about keywords.
Well, that's why I feel like now I should hand all of this off to you. The whole print on demand. I feel like all of the keyword insight optimizing, like it's very simple with print on demand because there's not a lot of keyword spaces, especially on merch. So I feel like you know all that. And what you bring to the table is a lot more than what I can bring, which is the art, the understanding, the actual not marketplace, but the whole industry, the whole t-shirt industry. You have way more knowledge than me. Me, I just know it's a thing. It's just another thing. A shirt is a thing just like any other product that I'm selling. Yeah. I could be selling grocery. I could be selling anything. I kind of come at it the same direction. So I don't have much more to give to this group. Hopefully the ads, that's what I'm working on now, but it's very frustrating.
All over the place, yeah.
But I think next year, especially you taking the reign and kind of going in your direction, especially with your travel and being able to wrap all that stuff into this group, I think it's going to be a cool mix.
Hopefully you guys think so as well. So that's really all we've got for this week. I just wanted to quickly touch on some of the art, and I want to give away the whole 2-hour class that we just did. Just a quick idea, and again, something to help you guys stand out in this Q4 while you're designing, or if you have your VAs designing for you, like telling them something to keep in mind while they're designing. All of that helps out a lot. The final thing I've got is a shout out for this week, and that basically is just going to everyone in the Preflight 2.0 class. We've really enjoyed teaching over there, and
you guys keep coming back. The viewership has not gone down. I'm always surprised. I'm like, wow, everybody's actually
even
showing up
last
for all
week
of these.
Going for like 2 hours. We for sure like scared everybody off, but we're getting a lot of questions and stuff still. So that's awesome. We really appreciate you guys joining us in Q4 and just trusting us and continuing to support us and ask questions and give us feedback. It's really encouraging to us to know, that this teaching thing that we've just kind of stumbled into, people are getting value out of, they're finding success with, and that's what keeps us doing it more and more. And
it's changed up how we think about how we're going to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I put a lot of energy into that website, and it's still just too many things changing up of how we want to do it. So now even the smaller group, we feel like that's truly where we feel we help the most people. Nathaniel really loves the one-on-ones, but it's extremely time-consuming to help everybody one by one. I like the smaller groups because then it's a lot more intimate. We can help a lot more people directly with their questions and be able to answer that back and forth. I think turning any of this stuff into courses is going to be almost not a disservice, but it's not how we want to teach. So we probably will move forward with just the smaller groups. The website will probably still come, but it'll be a back burner thing now. I think doing smaller groups like this is kind of how we're going to move forward and teach. And it allows us to test a lot more things rapidly that we can try to go, oh, do you guys like this? Okay, we'll make a specific video with this. Is the tool working? How can we adjust it? And then just a lot more back and forth and interactive. And that's kind of what we truly enjoy. And I feel like we're having the biggest impact doing it that way.
Yeah, I think that just comes from like most of our business lives have not been online. It's been a lot more like face-to-face and going and sitting down with people and helping them. So I think that's just what we're most comfortable with and how we feel the most impact when we get that, personalized feedback. Like, oh, the exact thing that you told us last week, that, answer you gave me to that question is helping me directly do X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, it's always super powerful when they go, oh, I listened to your advice and applied it, and I'm having immediate sales.
Right. That's what we want from everybody. We want to give you advice that's specific enough to you that you can take action on it and give us feedback that it worked. That's really what we love. So thank you to everybody who's joined us in that Preflight 2.0 class. That has been fantastic. We can't tell you how much we value your time in Q4. And it even starts kind of late and staying up late with us.
Yeah, we'll probably be changing things
time-wise a little bit
next year.
Yeah. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And everybody who watched this live, thank you guys so much. If you guys have a question,
is there any questions
ask.
in there? I know there's a lot of
comments, but I'm doing a bad job
keeping up with it.
Melinda's
I don't know why it doesn't auto scroll anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Melinda's saying that 2.0 is seriously awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, Melinda's been a great person in that group, giving us awesome feedback. We appreciate her for being in there. Not too many questions.
Oh, trends. People keep hitting me up about the trends. I put that post
JL
in there about the Canada marijuana passing, and then obviously that trend popping off. We are going to track that ourselves just to see how the page changes, because we've been early to a lot of trends and seen it change quite a bit. So we're capturing all those. I do want to make a longer post and possibly a class if enough people are interested, and then showing people how to actually tackle and go after trends our way, I guess, because we don't like to do a ton of trademark checking. We like to go after the trademarks, understand them, and then when a trend comes along, attack them from place of knowledge instead of just oh, now let's go and completely redesign or go after this trend. So I know this is probably not a great analogy, but if you've been in here, we use the cat example all the time. At this point, you should have cat keywords, cat art, a lot of cat stuff, and then that trend comes along and knowing how to attack it from the information that you have. So how can I apply all of my cat knowledge, keywords, assets to this new trend so I don't have to do a ton of new keyword research? And how can I do keyword research in a way that I can learn 2 more evergreens from this trend to add to my assets? That's what I want to teach people on. And I guess that's why I'm more excited about more print on demand, more than just merch, but how do I take this information and grow my business with these assets? And how do I hire people? How do I actually turn this into a business more than just a hustle? That might not be for everybody, but that's what I feel my calling is. Nathaniel, I think, feels calling to help more individual people. If you want to grow a business, he can help you with that. But if you don't want to do it as your own hustle, he can definitely help you with that, because he did that for a long time and had success with it. And even with his traveling and everything, you can still run a business with very few hours, even if you're the one doing most of the work.
Yeah, it's cool to see the dynamic that me and Steven have, and kind of defining that more clearly now, instead of just being a package deal on every single thing that we work on.
Yeah, a lot of butting heads up I want to do this and you want to do. I was like, okay,
yeah,
this
not
is not
fights, but
no,
just
all
right,
I want to take it in this direction, and maybe this isn't a good direction for the group, especially since we grew it on the back of merch. I can't now go, okay, everybody says here for merch, we're going to turn this into a business and we're going to be hiring people. We go take this asset and we go start building over here. And then it's way too much for a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in it, but not how we grew this group. It's a very hard left. And we were that's probably not a good way to do it. So let's have Nathaniel run this. I'll still be here. We'll still be helping. It's not like I'm going anywhere. Nathaniel will be the one leaving. But I want to then start helping people to grow businesses and start moving in that direction.
Yeah. So more on that as we figure out what exactly all that
January,
means,
a lot more January.
Yeah. So we do have a few questions. Melinda asked about a shirt with a pocket on it. I haven't personally had to sell any shirts with pockets on it, but I would believe that Etsy and Printful, I know they offer a ton of options. So if that's something that you're looking into, and if it's someone locally, then you can even go talk to a screen printer. I know we kind of, I don't know if we talk down about them, but that's the world that I grew up in.
Yeah.
So I
it
mean,
is
that is
definitely a
definitely an
viable
option.
Yes.
Yeah. if you're trying to do a large order for someone locally, like a local screen printer can still help you out, and they'll do it for a much better price than ordering, shirts off of Amazon. So that might be something to look up.
You just need to really know the sizes that you're going to need.
Yeah,
because
there's a lot of other problems that go along with that, or just things you need to know. But as far as like pricing and getting exactly what you want, a local screen printer. And if you go in and talk to them, usually they're pretty open and understand that you're not going to know anything about t-shirts. That's like what we dealt with all day at the screen printing company. So yeah, I would suggest just finding a storefront and walking and asking them a bunch of questions. They're usually
I think
super
that's why I'm
knowledgeable.
more excited for next year for you, because you have a ton of, that's why I said like industry knowledge,
Right.
growing beyond just merch. Like how can you use the information that we're gathering, the assets that we're building in more than just one way. And I feel like that's where we can start really helping a lot of people.
Yeah, we've only really talked about merch, but we do not say it's like the end-all be-all or the answer for everything that you want to do.
It's a great place to start. It's a great place to learn. I'm not knocking it at all. It's just there's way
more options out there. And we're not even just talking like other print-on-demand sites. Like there's so much you can do with the knowledge you have here. So
working with wholesalers, working with China, manufacturers, just everything that we are in the process of doing, I want to start showing and helping other people with it.
Yeah. JL asked for merch AMS, did you open a new account or with a new email address? Yes, I would suggest opening a new email account with a new AMS account. Or
Amazon advertising.
It's called Amazon advertising, but when you log in, you still have to say
Amazon.
I want Amazon marketing services. So it's all a little confusing still, but if you have not signed up, I would definitely suggest doing a completely new everything, a new merch account if you can. No. But yeah, just making sure that's separate because it's super confusing the way they have it set up.
And the emails that are linked are very
you have to
confusing.
Open two different ones and accept both of them. So you get like 5 emails over the entire like transaction, but you have to make sure that you go in and click the link on 2 different separate ones. I know some people said they're waiting like 6 months for that thing, which I think it's only been out for like 3 months, so I think they're over exaggerating. But just making sure that you're going through actually reading all the emails you're getting from them. It took us like 2 weeks, I think, something like that. But yeah,
and probably really just a week. We set it up incorrectly.
Yeah, we did the first time.
Kidding.
Yeah, it's just a mess. If you're having confusion about that, don't feel
especially
left out.
Since we had AMS accounts already linked to, it was even more difficult. And the fact that we're managing multiple accounts was even more confusing.
So that's what I said. Just set up a new everything if you can, and then keep track of it over there.
Dale was joking about the merch account. Leave your merch account. Just set up a new email address for marketing, essentially.
Correct. All right. I thought there was one more question. Let me scroll down and see. Nope, I think that's it. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us. If that's a new face, I think. Sorry if you've been around. I just have not seen your name a ton.
I've been here every day, boy.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for spending time with us in Q4. I know, like, I keep sounding like a broken record, but I know how much of a headache it is to work for this guy and pack boxes and go out and shop. Like,
and just how busy everything gets.
Yeah, I didn't want to do anything besides sleep in Q4. So
sleep and work.
Yeah. So thank you guys again. We look forward to this week. Hopefully you guys are all having success out there. And don't forget my little tip that I shared at the beginning. If you're having success with something, if you're seeing a shirt or a design sell multiple times, definitely try and offer that on other products. Q4 is a great time to try and sell hoodies and other things. So don't just see that success and, not take any other action on top of it. There's a lot that can be done with just seeing even one shirt selling multiple times a week. So
can we have a fade out effect? I see all them different things.
Next week we'll work on that.
I'm getting fancy with the new graphics and everything. I said, let's start this up a little bit.
Thank you so much. We'll catch you later.